Hello universe, this is Daniel Hill, EFT, NLP life coach, clinical hypnotherapist and Enneagram mentor. I am out in one of my favourite places. This is Shropshire, this is the next county, the next shire to the shire that I live in. I live in Worcestershire, and this is Shropshire we'd say, Worcestershire, Shropshire, but it's the shire next to the shire, so this is the shire west of the shire that I live in. And out here, you can actually come out and you can see how beautiful it is out here. You get lovely views, plenty of sheep. It reminds me a little bit of Wales here. I just listened to a song, put the radio on coming out here, and it was a song by a local girl. And she started singing about she was tired of being tired. It made me think of what I used to be like when I had really chronic ME, when I was really, really sick, and why I wanted to kill myself. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And how do we stop being tired of being tired? Well, we have to. That's the secondary emotion to the actual emotion that we're going through. We're tired for many reasons. There can be lots of things physically, yes, but I work on the emotional and the psychological with people, and it's huge. It's on my journey, and it is with most people with recovery from ME, it's at least 80% psychological and emotional, and I would have literally killed someone if they had said that to me many years before, because I had many physiological symptoms. But the thing is that this isn't just ME. I've got a whole book, $129 book from the States, as well as another book which is about £10, and another book that's about £7, and they all say the same thing. The physiological stuff that we are experiencing is as a result of the emotional and the psychological of what we've gone through and what we're continuing to go through, and what the unconscious mind believes we have to still continue to run. So being tired of being tired is basically, I was tired because it was a very unhealthy Enneagram type 6, constantly doing worst case scenario, absolutely terrified of the world, terrified of being myself. In fact, you could look at ME in as much as there's a full stop with ME. ME is another word for CFS, chronic fatigue syndrome. It's called that in this country. It's actually a misdiagnosis. It's actually myalgic encephalitis, and it's not that at all. But it got stuck with that, and that's what they use in this country. And it's quite apt in a way, because there was a book that I thought about writing, which was I've got no real wish to work with ME clients, just solely. I have a few ME clients that I work with, but it's hard going because they usually don't have a lot of money, and because there's a lot of stuff you've got to do in order to be able to even just get to be half functioning again. And I spent thousands upon thousands and worked on myself, but it was like the book title was Overcoming ME, Removing the Full Stop and Becoming the Me That I Truly Am. I'll probably never write it because I've got no real wish to do it. I haven't uploaded a video on ME recovery since the summer of 2018, and I got into a relationship with somebody, and it was as beautiful as she was and as wonderful as it was, and I really mean that. I don't regret it whatsoever, but it was a weight to carry being in that relationship, and without realizing it, I slowly started drowning, and I was absent from making videos for quite a long time, but I really wanted a relationship so much, and I wanted it and wished for it, but actually I forced it so much where it was really hard. And I've realized, I'm sure she realizes that now, that it should be so much easier than that. As I say, I've got no regrets, and she said she's got no regrets. So we had a wonderful time, her being in England and me being in Sweden, and we've now parted, and I believe she's in another relationship. And if she sees this video, hello, lovely. But my energy was compromised to some extent, and I felt like I kind of really drowned in that relationship without realizing it, and I've bounced back out now, and it just feels like, I'm more than floating again. I'm rising well above the ocean. So, but it just made me think about that, where she's singing sort of like, I'm tired of being tired, and I just went, oh my God, I remember what that was like. Tired of being tired, so sick and tired of being sick and tired. And then you think, well, right, I've got to get out of here then. See you, universe, I'm off back home. Yeah. And you grow beyond this stuff. We all do. We all grow beyond this stuff. And it's something that I call be with the non-being. So there's a non-being inside of you. There's an angst inside of you. There's unconscious patterns that are running, and they're taking up energy. Then there's also life happening, and that girl's life, she might have been a mum, she might have had a hard job, she might have had a difficult relationship, she might have had difficult relationships with her parents, she might have lost a parent, one parent may be ill, I don't know, but there's a lot, obviously, stuff going on in her life. Maybe it wasn't autobiographical, maybe she was just singing it from another person's perspective. But many people who I take on as clients to begin with have that going on a lot. It's, they're tired, and they're tired of being tired. So if you be with the non-being, you don't fight the struggle that you're in. You actually acknowledge that you're in this, and you're conscious of it. And if you're that powerful to create this mess that you're in, or let's say it's not your fault whatsoever, and this is something that the universe has just put upon you. I do believe there is some random, but 99% of the time, it's usually people attract their challenges through their consciousness. That's what the whole Messages from the Body book, $129 book, talks about, the A to Z or A to Z of illness, and how it's all manifested from a limited belief consciousness that's got started in a very dysfunctional childhood, and you can heal that and thus change your life. I'm still doing that. I'm still finding more and more empowerment within my consciousness. I was a very disempowered child. My father was a very dominant character. He was an Enneagram type 8. He was terminally ill 20 years ago and died about 19 and a half years ago. He was a very dominant personality, and 19 and a half years after he's died, his voice is still in my head to a certain degree. And all the things, it wasn't so much what he said and did, it was almost what he didn't do as well. And it's all part of my unconscious programming that I've unpicked slowly. You take a layer off and you take another layer, and this is how healing is done. I came into this thinking, can't you just hypnotize it all away? I remember going to see a hypnotherapist in the year 2000, thinking that I'd go and have some hypnosis to see whether that was the cause of what the ME was. I had 3 sessions with this guy. Did not click with him whatsoever. Gave me a tape to listen to with hypnosis on, where he actually, I remember he was drinking a cup of tea while he was actually making the hypnosis recording, and he put the cup down on this saucer, and it would grate me every time I would listen to it, because I'd be waiting to hear this clank of china where he put the cup down. And I remember told him on the second session, I think it was the second one, that I actually had to re-record it to edit that out because it bothered me. And right away his eyes lit up and just went, well, you need to destroy that recording. And I was like, whoa, it really grates on me, it bothers me. And then he said, well, then you need to, he said, bring it back, and that's not the property of you, oh goodness, anyway, there wasn't great rapport after that. I was quite nervous after that. But I do remember him doing hypnosis with me, and I remember feeling like I was on a roller coaster. Like the consciousness in my brain, it was like I was going from one side to the other. I remember him asking me, did this problem start inside or outside? And I remember coming out with this, like, I didn't know, I just went with my unconscious, and I ended up saying outside. And I think I did have a number of traumas that happened externally outside of the house. But with Emmy, it's not just one thing, it's a myriad of so many things. It's a stacking up of things that have happened in your life, but like in your teens, but then usually it's on top of you've either been really overloved or underloved. When you're overloved, you don't develop the consciousness to be able to cope with life, so you stay like a child. I've met many people like that, and they've never grown up, and others, which was my journey, which was being underloved. So it was like I had to be street smart from an early age, which put my unconscious in a heightened state of alert. I could deal with stuff, but it came up with dyslexia, a heightened state of worst case scenario, always on the alert for danger, because my parents weren't people I could trust. The outside world wasn't something I could trust, and I hadn't learned to trust myself or life or the universe. So I've had to be really dehypnotizing myself from that moment on. Anyway, I'm going to journey on. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear me. I thought I'd do a test. Can I make some videos while I'm driving? Get the tarmac here. Get off this bumpy thing. Let's see if this works. So yeah, dehypnosis. I remember this thing with dehypnosis. Dehypnosis, what's that? It's that Dr. Milton Erickson, a famous psychiatrist in Texas, who they based a lot of NLP on, he was a real genius. He said it's not about getting clients in hypnosis. No, actually, it's not about getting clients into trance, it's about getting clients out of trance. And the trance that they're in is based on the negative experiences that they've had in their life that have put them in a negative form of hypnosis, a negative trance. He had a complete belief in the unconscious mind, and so he was really out there helping people doing kind of like really different things, and he would get results where other therapists weren't able to get results with people, and he was controversial but effective, and I like to think that that's a little bit of how I am. I think one ex-client once referred to me on her YouTube channel, Capricorn, that's to prevent the sheep from coming out, as, what did she call me? Unconventional. Because I suppose most people think about when they go to therapy, they would go to a counsellor or a psychotherapist, just talking about their problems, hoping consciously by talking about something that's obviously deeply unconscious, it's going to go away. Well, with a lot of people, that doesn't really work. Counselling's nice, I had 4 years of it, but when you start dealing with unconscious tools on the unconscious mind at an unconscious level, that's when you start getting real unconscious change. And the change you're looking for, that's going to be the problem. Look, maybe this won't work. The change is always that you're wishing to seek is unconscious. Don't pull out. Oh my lord. Didn't look. Yeah. It's the unconscious change that you're looking for. You think it's a conscious change, but actually it's an unconscious change. So the unconscious will be processing beautifully and flowingly, just like it beats your heart, grows you new organs, grows your skin, helps you to sleep at night, with most people. I know there are some insomniacs who follow me. It's the unconscious that you're looking for, the unconscious change. I Okay, that'll be enough for today. Journey well on your road, and I shall see you another time.